sending our energy to the anger, right, to the anger box.
Mate.
And what we need to do is we need to say, well, hang on a minute. If your environment is not healthy, you may be healthy, but only for a certain amount of time. And so this only standing, and I had a live with Paul Pinaroo the other day that went down to Melbourne with the CFA. Now, I agree with the farmers and the CFA, exactly agree with them. But I said to Paul Pinaroo, I had a live, and I said, look, I had Annie Marie call me earlier, and she's bawling her eyes out. And she said, why do Australians only stand when it impacts them? Right? And when I was talking to Paul, I said, you do realise that the compliance you're seeing there, and I reeled off about another 10 different industries and different laws that have been made to him, and said, well, it's been made there, and there. Why aren't we standing as a whole? Right, we've got the inheritance tax. We've got the, like listen to this. If you want to talk detail, I can give you detail, right? So the labour hire licence for Victoria. So we've been contracting for decades. All of a sudden, we need a labour hire licence. What's the result of a labour hire licence? Oh, you just fill this form out, you got to pay more compliance, right? So in our case, our labour hire licence was about $9,000 to $10,000 a year, right? Just extra. It just comes in. It's just new compliance. Just another 10 grand. Thank you very much. So that just goes on to cost everything. Everyone wonders why the cost keeps going up. It's because of the compliance, right? So anyway, this year, when we knew we were shutting down, because it's from March to March, so I rang the Victorian government, the Labour Hire Licence Authority, and I said, I want to pay my 3 months, but we're going to be shut by mid-year. What do we do? Do we prorata it or do we get a refund? And they just said, no, there's no refund. I said, it's a per annum fee. Every other per annum fee I have in my whole life is per month. What do you mean you don't give a refund? And they said, there's no refund. You pay your 9K, and whether you operate 1 month or 12 months, you pay your 9K. Now, that's our government. Now, that's just not ethical. It's not good business practice. If you're going to treat people like that, that is the resemblance of the culture I'm talking about that's driven through our government and major organisations. And so I sort of, the detail, I can go to the detail, and this is learning, education, is that I find us guys, the influencers, we need to be sending the message about the cultural problem, because that's the real enemy.
Yeah,
we
I agree.
We will never ever fix this unless we can get rid of that culture.
The way I see it is what, mate, I 100% agree. I think what happened with way I was, and I think a lot of people are doing, they do get angry and all that, but when you start connecting with yourself and once it becomes personal, you can see how it's affecting you personally. But then what you want to do is educate and open other people's minds instead of going, oh, the banks are this. You use that information, but then, as you said, we've got to open up people's minds. But I'll tell you right now, Leigh, people aren't open. They just want to get angry. Oh, yeah, go back to work. Whereas you and me.
That's that compulsiveness. So when you go back to, so I'll talk in the two minds all the time, right?
Yeah, mate, no worries.
And my message, mate, to everyone, I've got a panel on my webpage now. I tell everyone all the time, I stand here. I'm not interested in this. I stand truly here. The only reason I'm here is because I'm standing for humanity. I can manage this, and I've managed it very, very well, but I stand here. So that's one of the problems of this box over here, is the compulsiveness. We've been taught our want and expectation for ourselves is massive. And it's become so much, our want and expectation, our want for self and expectation of others has become so much that it's become so compulsive. We're watching the very fabric of the community just whittle away. And everyone's a good person. Like, they're great people. Everyone is a good person in their own essence. But if you've gone down and just watched people at a supermarket walk and push through each other and can't talk, can't look, no conversation.
Like a respect.
It's horrible.